And you can see from behind me, this is a recreation of the tent where Charlie Kirk lost his life at Utah University in September, and people are taking selfies with it.
You didn't imagine it. That was a replica of Charlie Kirk's tent at America Fest. For some people, it brought back horrifying memories. For TPUSA, it was just set design. And if you think that's bad, trust me, this year's AmFest gets way more controversial. Now, what really stood out to me about this tent was just how meticulous they were with the details. I mean, they even went out of their way to remove the cameras from the back wall of the tent. Sure, you could argue this was their way of reminding people what happened to Charlie, but that argument completely falls apart once you see how Erika made her entrance at this event. You've gotta admire how they fully committed to the WWE style entrance. Fireworks, music, the whole spectacle. Now, a lot of people found this strange, especially since just days earlier, she was telling everyone to stop talking about her husband because she was grieving.
What do you say to people who justified his death?
You're sick. He's a human being. You think he deserved that? Tell that to my 3-year-old daughter. Excuse me.
What's even crazier is that people seem to have forgotten this wasn't the first time Erika made a similarly over-the-top entrance just days after her husband's very public execution. Now, people will say they're just trying to move on, but that's nonsense. You don't just move on when the founder of your movement gets assassinated in front of the entire world. Your priority should be to get to the truth. But we all know that's not what this was about. This is just another distraction from the real issues. They even said it themselves. Their goal was to keep you entertained.
Well, say what you want about AmFest, but it's definitely not boring. Feels like a Thanksgiving dinner where your family's hashing out the family business.
Of course, things only got worse as the event went on. First, Erika made this incredibly strange statement about Charlie's assassination.
I missed this until somebody pointed it out in the comments, and it's kind of a lot. I'm going to show the whole clip, so I can't be accused of taking it out of context.
Here's what I've learned the most in these past 3 months, is that my husband, he deeply mattered on a multitude of levels, so much so that it proved even more once he was assassinated how much of a peacemaker he was.
Did anything stand out to you? I'll narrow it down a little bit.
So much so that it proved even more once he was assassinated.
Once he was assassinated?
Once he was assassinated.
Most would use the word after he was assassinated. Now, in Erika's defense, and this is going to sound like I'm being snarky because I've mentioned this in the past with an air of snark, she doesn't come across as particularly intelligent. So it could be that she just didn't think I don't know. Honestly, I don't know that there's a defense for this one. It's a very odd word choice.
Then came what might be one of the most insane Freudian slips you'll ever hear.
Despite the devastating loss of Charlie Kirk, my incredible husband at UVU, Caleb has persisted with the same gift. Grit. It has been a long day. Trust me, you're not a grifter, honey. It's all good.
And as if things weren't already suspicious enough, Erika then brought out singer Nicki Minaj, and this is what she had to say.
And for young men, don't be new scum. Yes, see, dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
Trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine.
I gotta be honest, folks, this doesn't look good, especially when you remember that Erika is using this massive, extravagant show to openly endorse J.D. Vance just 3 months after her husband's death.
We are going to get my husband's friend, J.D. Vance, elected for 48 in the most resounding way possible.
Suddenly, every single interaction she's had with JD is coming under a microscope. People are going back, rewatching old clips, reanalyzing body language, timing, connections, all of it.
No one will ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do.
They went to the weirdest places.
Oh my gosh. You guys, please. So for those of you who know me, I hug.
Yes, you're an intense hugger.
Whoever is like hating on a hug needs a hug themselves. I will give you a free hug anytime if you want a hug. My love language is touch, if you will. But seriously, that hug. So I will give you a play-by-play. I'm walking, they just played the emotional video. I'm walking over, he's walking over, I'm starting to cry. He says, he's so proud of you. And I say, God bless you. And I touch the back of his head. Anyone who I've hugged that I have touched the back of your head when I hug you, I always say, God bless you. That's just me. If you want to take that out of context, go right ahead. Again, that to me shows that you need a hug more than anyone else. So if anyone...
They were acting like you touched the back of his ass.
I feel like I wouldn't get as much hate if I did that. But no, seriously, so now when I go and hug people, I'll bring them back in and be like, I obviously didn't give you the right hug. Like, come let me touch that.
She even tried to cover up all these weird moments with a joke, but I don't think it really landed as well as she thought.
54% are female attendees. Okay. We have 40 breakout sessions, 178 sponsors, all 50 states represented. We have 25 countries represented plus Puerto Rico, but I have the list here. Don't worry, guys. Egypt is not on the list. Don't worry about that. But, oh, how funny. I say Egypt and my iPad turns on. That's fun. Where were we?
Now look, they talked about a lot of things at this event. They even included a tribute to Charlie. But there was one thing they very deliberately didn't do. They didn't follow Charlie's lead. They didn't even mention the Epstein files, even though Charlie had a clear stance on that issue.
I think the DOJ should immediately move to unseal all the Epstein documents in the Southern District of New York.
Yeah.
Everything.
And
Everything except child sexual assault material.
I think every file should be released to the public the same way as the JFK files. Let the American people decide.